Good morning to you all. Welcome back to the Namaste Experience. It's so good to have you here on this Monday morning. I don't know, but there's an excitement brewing within me because this is the moment. This is the moment that we chose to say yes, to awaken to the truth that is forever true. No, this is it. Hold on. No, this is it. No, it's this one. It's always this one. It's just kind of a rolling moment. It's always right now in this moment. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. Always just keeping ourselves focused like on the head of a pin on this moment. One of the comments that was made at breakfast by Bethel was that enlightenment is just knowing this moment, being fully present to this moment, not being pulled this direction or that direction, but being here right now. So that being said, I have two things that I want to read. I love just seeing a book and just feeling the pull to open it up anywhere and see what I come to. And it's almost always the Holy Spirit speaking to us. And so this morning I saw Marianne's book, Return to Love. And I opened it up, and let me read to you what I came to. She wrote, examining the past can help clarify many of our problems. But healing doesn't occur in the past. It occurs in the present. There is practically a mania these days for blaming the events of our childhood on our current despair. What the ego doesn't want us to see is that our pain doesn't come from the love we weren't given in the past, and here it is, but from the love we ourselves aren't giving in the present. From the love we ourselves are not giving right now. So the answer is always more love. If there's a lack of anything at all, more love. If something feels out of sorts, more love. Open your heart wider, give more. Always the answer. Okay. Salvation is only found in the present. Every moment we have the chance to change our past and our future by reprogramming the present. Such a view is blasphemous to the ego, and we are judged harshly for espousing it. Although we might have learned the ways of lovelessness from our parents, perpetuating their patterns by denying them love now is hardly the way out of the problem. We don't get to the light through endless investigations of the darkness. After a certain point, the discussion always becomes circular. The only way to the light is through entering the light. The only way to the light is through entering the light, diving in. I thought that was very appropriate. There have been many people who ask me about A Course in Miracles, and I often, if I feel like they need a step before diving right into the Course, I often ask them to check out this book first. So that's Return to Love, and it's all about right now. Isn't it always about right now? So that being said, let me share what I wrote last night, because it just flows naturally into that right now. The first part, and really the whole focus, is you are finally dissatisfied with that which could never satisfy. Think about that a moment. You're finally dissatisfied with that which could never satisfy you. Which means you've been trying to get that which you know will never satisfy. You're trying to get satisfaction out of that which you know deep down will never satisfy you. And you keep doing it over and over and over again, getting the same result over and over and over again. Does that sound familiar? But the spiritual evolution that we are all feeling is that step away or into the light, as Marianne says, but away from the notion that this world perception itself is ever going to give me what I really, really want. Peace, harmony, love without limits. We're finally dissatisfied with that could never satisfy. So that's the theme. Now let me read more. The thought, it would be better if. How many of you ever had that thought? Things would be better if. Oops. Okay. Is a defense against the truth that perfection and wholeness are always happening right now. The idea that it would be better if is always a defense against the truth. The truth being that it's happening right now. Love is happening right now. Reality is happening right now. But if you're constantly preoccupied with, oh, it would be better if this were happening or these people were there or we went somewhere else, whatever it may be, that is what traps you in the energy of not now. Do you realize that the whole ego's frame of reference is not now? That's the whole thing. Someday, maybe after I've done this or read enough books or hung out at Namaste Village long enough, then maybe. But the spirit is very different. It says right now, not now. It's always happening right now. Okay, let me start at the beginning. The thought it would be better if is a defense against the truth that perfection and wholeness are always happening right now. The ego or split mind constantly seeks for what it believes it needs to change. The ego or the split mind constantly seeks after what it believes it needs to change. Why? Because it doesn't want to look at the fact that nothing needs to change out here. Trying to change things out here so that it aligns somehow with who I really am is the most fruitless thing we could ever do. But it is the constant call of the ego. If only this, then that. But the soul says no, right now. Okay. The ego is frightened of the changeless. The changeless is perceived as undesirable, while that which constantly shifts and changes is perceived as safety. Do you see how everything that the ego or the split mind believes is the opposite of truth? It's a flip of reality. So it looks at that which is constantly changing as your safety. I'm safe if everything is always changing, right? Because the changeless is maybe seen as boring. How many of you ever felt, people have said to me all the time, but if I'm always at peace, wouldn't that be boring? No, because true peace is dynamic. It is a dynamic peace. It's not just this state where nothing happens. It's the state in which everything happens, and yet everything happens in a way that enfolds me in reality rather than illusions. Everything is happening now, in this moment. Okay? And yet safety will never lie in these changing forms and in constant ways. Only the illusion of safety which never satisfies. So here we go. You have come to the point where you are dissatisfied with that which could never satisfy. Do you see how far you've come? Sometimes it's good to notice where we are in our minds as opposed to what we once believed, what we once held to be true, what we once clung to with such ferocity. It's all happening out there, and if I could just change what's happening out there, I'll be fine. But the truth is, you're fine right now. And if you're having any issue with that, give more love. Open your heart wider. What was this beautiful line that Mary Ann said? Let me find it again. Oh, that's not it. Oh, I can't find it. It doesn't matter. You remember. It's all happening right now. Or I remember basically what she was saying is that if you think that there's anything that you need, or it's not aligning, or it's not fulfilled, it doesn't have anything to do with the past. It has to do with you giving more love now. You opening your heart wider now, in this moment. How simple is salvation? The answer is always give more love. Okay, a bit more. It's only here that the truth can be found, the truth that is forever true, eternal and unwavering. When your mind rests within the mind of God, conflict may seem to rage all around you, but you will not see it at all. Conflict may seem to be happening all around you, but you're in a place of perfect peace. I remember back in 1995 when I traveled to Bosnia and Croatia for the first time during the war. As you know, I was taken up into the mountains to be with this mystical community of the emissaries. And they preach this over and over. It doesn't matter what seems to be happening out here. Hold still within the presence of love. In fact, there was a moment in which this community, which was in a very, very secluded place way up in the mountains, no roads to get there, nothing. You had to hike in. There was a point in which there was some concern because the Serbian army was approaching. There was a group of Serbian soldiers that were coming very near. And so they told us all to lay flat on the ground and just hold that place of peace. No concern, just hold that place of peace. And there were buildings there. There was about, I don't know, maybe 20 of us just laying there on the ground. And this, I don't know, 30 soldiers maybe came up, and they came, no further than I am from Keeley right now. And they stopped. They could have absolutely seen us. They looked around and then just kept on walking. We were completely invisible because the frequency that we were holding did not align with the frequency that can be seen or understood with the perceptual mind. We were in a place of harmonic resonance, and we couldn't be seen. All because they asked us to hold that place of peace now. And don't waver from it. Be clear in that space. I'll never forget that. And one of the things that they taught me when I was with the emissaries, a chant that they often held to, which was, seek not peace here, but find it everywhere. In other words, stop looking for peace in the perceptual world. Stop trying to fix things so that somehow one day things will be peaceful. You're never going to get there. But if you look for it where it really is, which is what happened in that moment with those soldiers, you'll find it everywhere. It will be everywhere at once. It reminds me of many times going into war zones and, of course, just holding that space. All I met were beautiful people like all of you. The first time I went into Baghdad, I was invited there by Saddam Hussein. At the same time, we were beginning this campaign of bombing and terror. And yet, the people there that we found were just amazing. And after this concert, they took us to this place, and we had a huge party where all we did was sit around singing Simon and Garfunkel songs in Baghdad. One of the best parties I've ever been to. I will always find myself wherever I am. And no matter what is happening, if I'm giving only love, guess what I'm going to find? Only love. That's how simple salvation is. Okay, I'm almost there. When the mind rests within the mind of God, conflict may seem to rage all around you, but you will not see it at all. Only love is real, and love is the resting place where you are at home. Look for no other experience outside of this, for it is the only experience where you will find your sacred self. That's the only place you'll find who you really are, in love itself. So, I'm going to turn to Vicky and let her take it from there. Good morning, Victoria.
Morning, Brother James. Well, this is terrific. What a great way to start the week. Because isn't it always learning how to live from the inside out and breaking the spell of living from the outside in? And there are two great lines that come from the Course in Miracles that express that very simply. And it made me think of them when you were trying to think of Mary Ann's line. And one of them is, whatever is missing in any relationship is what I am not bringing to it.
Yes.
And the other one is, if my brother speaks not of Christ to me, it's because I first spoke not of Christ to my brother. In both of those, we're thinking, in worldly terms of, oh, I said this, she said that, he said this. And it has very little to do with that. It has to do with the broadcasting frequency that we are resonating. That are we resonating in division and fear? Are we in that harmonic resonance of union and love? Because it's the same idea. Mary Baker Eddy was very good on this. And Joel Goldsmith, and all healers, true healers, know there's no one to heal. There is nothing outside of ourselves, because we share one mind of light and love. And all healing is my own healing of the belief that there's something outside of me. That's what healing is. It's breaking the spell, the hypnotic spell of duality. Is nothing but resonating and staying in the frequency of love, no matter what. Staying in that frequency. That's what devotion is. When you think of it, let your eye be single. We're dedicated, we're a devotee. But what are we a devotee of? We're a devotee of love. What is ascension? Ascension is the rising in our being, in our consciousness, in the way we hold ourselves to the frequency of union and love, and beyond that, of joy, of giving. And when you started, we lose passion for everything in time. Bonnie, on our call here today, Bonnie said, I think it was just last week, oh, I'm done. I have nothing in the world I want. Oh, no, there's no interest, no passion. And I'm saying, stand up, do somersaults. This is great. Wonderful. This is what living is all about. Finally getting to the spot where nothing outside of you is worth chasing, and everything can open inside of us. So the devotion to love, that's the devotion to truth. That's the awakening. That's the heart, the mind, the soul, one focus. That's all it is. Very often for me, this is practical, and I'm staying at my sister and my brother-in-law's, so I'm always reminded by Harvey of gratitude. I'm telling you, my brother, I call him my brother, is a living, breathing presence of gratitude 24/7. He's so funny, and he have a grateful day, But no kidding, because he lives gratitude. Because Harvey lives gratitude, he's never in a rush. He's always right here, right now. He's always relaxed to receive what is, whatever it is. He doesn't get flustered at sides or responses or what to do, because he's so busy being grateful. It's one of the most wonderful practical examples I've ever witnessed. And the power of love expressed as gratitude, as appreciation for this moment, appreciation for breath this moment, appreciation for what my eyes may not see, but my heart knows is so. That's what appreciation goes to. Not for the forms and the appearances of things falling apart, but for the life and the pulse of oneness, the song, the dance that all of us feel in our hearts. That's the song that has drawn us together. It's a song of love and union. And day by day, especially on Wednesdays when we take days of silence, but day by day, we're tuning to it more and more. Because in quiet, we feel and hear, and it overflows in us, the song of love. So being dedicated to love is what awakening is to me. Being dedicated to appreciating. Love appreciates. That's love gives of itself, and it appreciates. Appreciates the day we're in, for the mystery of what appearances may hide to the eye, but is true and truly known to our souls. So devotion, dedication to love, living in appreciation, it's an awakening focus, it's an awakening frequency. and we're sharing in it every single day. And it's so much so that we're playing in it, we're relaxing in it. And when we forget, that's why when the emissary said, "You're ready now," what's the message? You're ready now. It's not about a process. It's about a shift in our awareness to the present love that we're all bathed in, created in, and continue to only be in. So yes, we're ready now. At any moment we can shift to love. And then everything becomes invisible, because presence of love is broadcasting so loudly and so purely, just like the Serbian soldiers did not see you. Disease does not see us. Everything that is negative falls away, because in that pitch it can't be seen, and it can't adhere. Negative energy, which is the frequency of fear and division, cannot exist in the frequency of love, which is union. It's that simple. So we're about the business, paying attention to love right here, right now. We're all ready, all of us, no matter where we are. Thanks, Brother James. Thank you, everybody. I love you. I'm on my Boston tour now. I left the Maine tour. Oh, and one other thought. Yes. And mystery. I have a mystery chauffeur, and Bill's documentary hit 1 million views yesterday. So congratulations, Brother Bill. And I think he probably will make it down to Mexico and do one of his segments. So we'll see how that all unfolds. Thank you, everybody. Love you.
Have a good trip, Vicky. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, it just keeps coming back to let the simple be simple. That's it. Why overcomplicate the simplicity of salvation? You know, and the only answer is when, like she mentioned from the Course, if anything seems to be lacking at all, it's because I have not brought more love into that situation. So the answer is always just more love. Open your heart wider. What we tend to do is when something becomes challenging, we go the opposite direction. What if we trained ourselves, whenever a challenge comes to us, more, open wider, give more. Imagine what would happen. So this is such a great place for us to begin on our Monday morning. I'm so grateful to have all of you here, and I'm going to invite Scott up to share a little song that I think he has prepared or is going to write spontaneously, I don't know, and we'll close with that. So come on up, Scott.
Thanks, James. I believe this song is perfect for this moment. It's the first song, I think I was 21 years old, that I ever wrote with a spiritual message. And the chorus is "This is the time." And when I sing "This is the time," you echo it. In other words, I go, "This is the time." You go, "This is the time." And I go, "This is the place." This is the place. And then together we go, "This is the grace. This is it. This is it." Well, there's meditation or visualization. Maybe there's a guru for you. Go on a shopping spree for reality. What is a secret to do? Everybody, this is the time. This is the place. This is the grace. This is it. This is it. Well, I didn't take est, but I'm not depressed, 'cause I must confess I didn't like the hard sell, but what they teach, it's all within reach. You can get it at the beach, you can get it at a hotel. This is the time. This is the place. This is the grace. This is it. This is it. Let's go macrobiotic, be a new age neurotic. Eat your veggies and tofu, it'll heal you if you let it. Watch what you eat, like no sugar or meat. If it tastes like a treat, then you better just forget it. This is the time, this is the place, this is the grace, this is it. This is it. Well, you can be platonic and avoid the colonic. Be romantic, call it tantric, and you're safe. Or totally skip the relationship trip and be celibate in an anchor hold or cave. This is a time. This is the place. This is the grace. This is it. Let's keep singing. This is it. Doesn't get more itter than this. This is it. This is it. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Can you guess which word I threw in? There was just one word I threw in. It was anchor hold.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
catch that anchor hole.
Yeah.
This is it. Ain't no other moment but this one. And it's real simple. All we just need to do is love more. Open our hearts wider. And remember, you are finally dissatisfied with that which could never satisfy you. That is a big step, by the way. It's huge. Well, the first step is to realize that that's what you've done. You've been trying to make the dissatisfied satisfying. And you're finally giving up. You're finally beginning to realize it will never happen. All you need is more love. Más amor. So thank you very much. We say together, Amen, 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 y punto. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow.
Happy to be back. Love you. See you tomorrow.
Bye now.
Thank you, James.